Good morning, Wilson. I'm Lucy.
And I am Miranda, and these are your morning announcements for Wednesday, March 4th, 2020.
Today's lunch is mini corn dogs, steamed broccoli, a Frank's bar, and a choice of milk.
Don't forget that tomorrow is a half day. Our 8th graders adjusted the schedule for a career day, so no one will be attending homeroom or 7th hour.
Also, don't forget that conferences will be held tomorrow after school. They will be held from 1 to 3 p.m. or 5 to 7:30 p.m.
Lastly, we would like to remind all 8th graders to report to their first hour tomorrow morning. Once attendance is taken, 8th graders will be sent to the auditorium to listen to our guest speaker.
Recently, Mrs. Monomer's biology class had a guest speaker, Mrs. Bratz, from the Detroit International Wildlife Refuge. Students learned about conservation and how humans are impacting the lives of native species like the lake sturgeon, using their class lake sturgeon stands as a living example. They learned what lake sturgeon prefer in terms of the perfect habitat.
In clubs today, we'll have girls group meeting until 3:45, math camps will be meeting until 4, and Choose to Include will be meeting until 3:15.
Hi everyone, this message is specifically for 8th graders. If you have not turned in your sheet that looks like this is for 9th grade scheduling, so for next year, you need to make sure you bring it to the main office. If you lost your copy or you need a copy because you were absent that day, you can also come to the main office and pick it up. Please make sure you fill it out and get your parent signature because you do not want your classes chosen for you next year.
Morning, Wilson. Mr. Szymanski here to talk a little bit about Career Day, which is this Thursday, tomorrow, for our 8th graders. Wanted to go over a few appropriate behaviors during these presentations because these are guests coming into our building, so we want to be on our best behavior for them. Make sure to practice active listening when you're in the career sessions. So that would be showing them good body language, which means you're facing towards the speaker, you're trying to make eye contact with them, you're not talking to the classmates nearby you, you're focused in on what that speaker has to share with us because they're volunteering their time to be here. When the session is done, you might have an opportunity to ask some questions to that speaker. Feel free to ask some appropriate questions to that speaker, but I will tell you one of the most embarrassing things you can do is if you ask a question that's already been asked, because that shows you weren't listening. So make sure you're listening to the questions being asked and you're not making the speakers repeat themselves. And if you enjoy one of these speakers, don't be shy. Feel free to go up to them, introduce yourself to them, and let them know how much you appreciated having them here, because they love to hear that too. And on that note, we've now got an exciting hall walk to share with you for our Career Day coming up here.
Good morning, Wilson. Today we're asking students and staff what their dream career is. What do you want to be when you grow up?
An NBA player.
What do you guys want to be when you grow up?
I don't know. Nurse practitioner.
Doctor.
A chef.
Thank you.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
A teacher.
If you weren't a teacher, what would your career be?
Well, as you know, I have a lot of talents, so a lot of options out there, but after some long, hard thinking, I would decide to be a stand-up comedian because, as you know, I am hilarious and I connect well with people.
If you were not a teacher, what would your career be?
Probably a NASA engineer or a lumberjack because I want to wrestle bears.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I hope to be an artist or an animator, so.
Cool. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a chemist.
That's cool.
This is Mrs. Zemnickas reporting live from the Wilson Hall Sweep. Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't a hall sweep, it's a hall walk. They asked me what my favorite job would be if I weren't a teacher. Well, I'm giving you a clue right now. I would have loved to have been into broadcasting, the news, the stories. That's it. But I love being a teacher, so I wouldn't change a thing. Back to you, Robbie.
I want to be a biologist because I like science.
When I grow up, I want to be a race car technician because I'm really into cars.
What would you be if you weren't already a teacher?
If I wasn't a teacher, I'd probably try to work for the DNR. I really like going around and exploring state parks, and I think that would be a fun job.
Cool. When I'm older, I want to be a football player.
I always wanted to be a cosmetologist because, that's really cool. You can do makeup, hair, and nails. It's pretty cool.
If I wasn't a teacher, I would want to be a journalist writing for a newspaper. Always something that's always interested me and something I even wouldn't mind doing on the side from teaching.
When I grow up, I want to be an aerospace engineer because I love science and rockets and stuff. That's why.
If I wasn't at Wilson, I would probably rather be in Wyoming and Montana guiding elk hunts on horseback at a week at a time. Backpack in, lead them up in the mountains and track elk. And I think that's something I could probably be pretty good at.
Good morning, Wilson. Mr. Szymanski here. And as you've heard by now that March is Reading Month, we've got an exciting opportunity for everybody to take a part of. So what you can do is you can go to flipgrid.com/WilsonBooks, and we're going to do little mini book reviews for everybody to share. This can be students or staff members. You go on there. It's only 60 seconds long, and all you have to tell us is your name, the book you're choosing, what that book is about without sharing any spoilers, and why you're picking that book. So I'm going to kick us off here this month. I picked one of my favorite books, which is a book called The Alchemist, which is about a shepherd in Spain who has dreams of treasure in Egypt. So he goes on a journey over to Egypt to try and find that treasure. I picked this book, though, because it's a fun reminder along the way that there's all these things that happen in a journey, that you're trying to get to this destination, but part of life and part of the journey is the things that are happening to you along the way and the challenges and such you'll face. So it's a really cool reminder of that. It's a really cool theme. It's a shorter book, too, for those of you that don't like to read too much. It's only about 150 pages long. So it's an awesome book. Highly recommend it. And I would love to hear from more staff and students. What are some of the books you're going to enjoy here this reading month?
Good morning, Wilson. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I have a few things here for you. The tech department wanted me to let all the students know. Currently, they're getting Chromebooks that have items on the Chromebook. Listen, they said that you are not to be altering the appearance of your Chromebook or you're going to be charged a fine. So I mean stickers, anything that you would put on the outside of the Chromebook, don't do it, okay? All right, because it's a rather stiff penalty. Another thing I want to discuss with the students, and this right now dealing with the boys. Unfortunately, we have some students who feel the need to go in the restroom and destroy items in the restroom. We've already had 2 soap dispensers broken in the boys' bathroom upstairs. Again, it's just idiotic why somebody wants to do this, right? Because that that is very expensive, and it costs your parents, taxpayers, money. All right, I've said this before. When they complain about why their taxes are going up for schools, just think about what some of your classmates are doing in the bathroom, destroying items. All right, so again, hate to have to talk about that. On the lighter side, just found out that we're going to have the big rematch. We're going to have the annual student-staff basketball game. It's going to take place next Thursday, March 12th, I believe, 6 o'clock in the Warrior Dome. Admission will be $3. Now, the players will be the 8th grade girls and boys who are on the basketball teams this year. I'm not even going to mention some of the superstars that the staff have lined up for this game, but to be quite honest, we don't need that many superstars to take on the students this year. All right? Enough said. Other than that, everybody, tomorrow, don't forget, half-day parent conferences, and we hope that many of you are telling your parents so that they show up to see how you guys are doing. 8th graders going on your class trip. We're down to 67 days. 67 days, and we will be out of here. All right? And probably next week, we will be doing room assignments. So again, get that straightened out for a room. Okay? Let's have a great day, everybody.
That's all for today. Have a wondrous Wednesday.
Now it's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.